Every time Epic Games releases a game, it's seen as slop. But are they really that bad? Hi, my name is Random Items. I'm going through every single Epic game that there is to see if these games are actually worth playing at all. This is episode 10 of the series, so if you enjoy this, there's more on my channel. And let's get started with the first game. Don't forget to subscribe! I love it when video games have intros so I don't have to make one. Anyways, welcome to River City Girls 2. This is a game that I actually knew about way before it became free on Epic. I had never played the first one, but I was ecstatic for this one. This is a classic beat-em-up style game where you go around and beat up Yakuza while completing various missions. The combat in this game feels good. It almost feels like I'm playing Street Fighter again, which I also suck at. Yes, thankfully this game, which looks deceivingly easy, is actually pretty hard, and it could be a skill issue on my part, but I did get absolutely whooped by the first boss like 6 times. Combat aside, this game's defining feature in my opinion is the art. Dear Lord, all of the art in this game is really good. Its story is displayed through these comic book panels, the pixel art is just immaculately well done, everything just looks so good. That does also lead into one of my only complaints for the game, which is there is a little bit of backtracking. So you're gonna get used to seeing these environments, but that's okay. When starting this game, I was a little worried that I would have to play through the first one to figure out what was going on. Good news is, it doesn't really matter. The story is goofy enough to carry itself in any way that it needs. I mean, the literal reason why you start at level 1, despite, being so good at fighting in the last game, is because you spent 2 months playing video games. I can't believe they found Deadlock. This is truly tragic. Speaking of goofiness, yes, let's talk about the characters. Man, these characters are funny. This perfectly hits my type of humor, which is just goofy, whimsical bullcrap. They're stereotypical knuckleheads, and they'll just say the most random things sometimes. Also, there's this really, really nice quality of life system they have, which normally when you're playing the game, you pick your character, and that's the character who will be talking. But there's also a secondary character who can be played by someone else who will also talk in the scenarios. And if you don't like the character for whatever reason, you can swap it out in the phone to be one of the other characters. This is really cool. And oh my goodness, is that Satoru Gojo?
Teacher from school, the one that expelled us.
Yeah, I need to take a second to actually talk about how stacked of a cast they have. Misako, who is played by Caitlin Willis, also plays the character Amelia from, ReZero. And then Kyoko is played by Kira Birkland. Who does Kira Birkland play? Oh yeah, that's right, just this little known character called 2B. Kuno is played by Greg Chun, who plays Ike, by the way. Very cool guy. Riki is played by Kenji Tang, who of course is Gojo. And just in case you think this couldn't get more stacked, yes, of course, Sab is there too. He's everywhere, let's be real. Oh, and to top it off, let's go over a few more, shall we? Yeah, that's right, they have Game Grumps here. Yeah, the Game Grumps. Oh, and of course, Alpha Rad, Jacksepticeye, and in the last game they had Sung Woo. They don't have it in this game apparently, which is really sad, but I love Sung Woo. Yeah, I really like voice actors, so much so that I've gone way over my allotted amount of time. This game is not slop, it's really enjoyable, not just because of the voice actors, but they definitely give it a plus. Anyways, on to our next game. Welcome to Hyper Echelon. Oh my goodness, I pronounced that correct on the first try. I'm getting better at reading, oh my goodness. Anyways, this is a classic space shoot 'em up game where you go through the mission, you complete stories, get higher difficulties, level up your ship, and then eventually fight a boss at the end of every level. The gameplay is pretty on par with every single other space shooter I've ever played. I mean, it does nothing super interesting with the formula, but it doesn't really need to. This is just an enjoyable game. Speaking of what it doesn't do differently, the story is as baseline as it gets. Just imagine Star Fox, and that's the story. If you don't know what Star Fox's story is, he's just a hotshot pilot. His dad used to be really good, and now his dad's dead or missing or whatever. Oh, and there's evil robots trying to kill you and such. The pixel art is not the most insane pixel art I've ever seen, but it is really good. It has the color scheme of an old video game. These little squid guys are super fluid and they look really funny, and the environments in the background are just detailed enough to look really good while not being too distracting from the game itself. Oh, and the music is super solid. I mean, it really fits the vibe of the game, but I hope you like the sound of shooting because that's all you'll hear over it the entire game. There is no setting to disable this or turn it down, or to turn down really any of the game sounds. Going into more of the flaws that this game has, it can be a little bit grindy. From what I've read and from what I've seen, being there's only 10 missions, a lot of this game's replayability comes from its different difficulties. To unlock the different difficulties, you need to complete the mission by defeating every single enemy on the screen. Now, some of the enemies of course fly off, so if you miss one, you're going to have to go back and do it again. But this doesn't really make for a very interesting game mechanic, and it ends up being very, very grindy. Added on that there's these things called star charts that are randomly dropped in game and are really good, it creates for a not so enjoyable replaying. Additionally, there are some enemies that are straight up invincible in the farther levels, and it makes it really hard not to get hit, because there's collision damage, of course. Speaking of damage, your wingman will pretty much always die. This is a really annoying fact for me in the game, because they've just put another hitbox to the right of you. Now, granted he has abilities and things that he can do, but he is just there, and he's gonna take damage, because you're trying to make sure that you aren't taking damage. Oh, and abilities are also one-time use, until you get, of course, later upgrades that make it so they aren't. But for a majority of the time, I just accidentally hit the shield button at the beginning of every game because I mixed up my A and X button. Thanks, Xbox. Despite these flaws, I did have a pretty good time playing this game, and I honestly wouldn't say that it's slop at all. It's definitely not the most perfect game in the world, but I mean, it was free. Although on Steam it is $13, and I feel like that's a little steep of an asking price. On sale it does go down to $8 though, and I think that's much more reasonable. Anyways, on to the next game. Oh boy, I love River City Girls. I wonder what game got bundled with it.
Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387.44 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nanoangstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for humans at this micro-instant. For you. Hate. Hate.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Well, welcome to I Have No Mouth But I Must Scream, now officially the oldest game that I've covered in this series, dating all the way back to 1995. There was a chance that this game was put on a floppy disk. If you have no idea what I Have No Mouth But I Must Scream is, or allow me to enlighten you to one of the oldest AI overlord stories around. Our AI overlord this time is AM, a computer that was developed during the Cold War, which turned into a real war, which was World War III that went on forever, so every country decided that they needed an artificial intelligence that would be more powerful than all the others. It turned evil. Big surprise. And it decided to kill literally everyone except for 5 people. It decided to keep these 5 people alive so it could torture them forever. What a wholesome and wonderful story that I have to cover today. And speaking of covering, there's a lot that I actually can't. Because of the nature of the game and because of the serious topics that it goes into, I don't really want to risk getting on YouTube's bad side by talking about some of these. And also, this is not a super serious YouTube channel to begin with. What I can tell you, and I'm surprised that I didn't get to sooner, is that this is a point-and-click adventure game. And it's pretty alright. I mean, in terms of point and click adventure games, I really honestly have pretty much only played Pajama Sam and other games when I was a child, so I'm not super privy to these. When you begin the game, you get to choose one of 5 characters, and then you go through their story. You collect items, you solve puzzles, and then when you're finished, AM gets bored with you and he puts you in a cage and you move on to the next character. You can choose any of these characters in any order, and when you're done with all of them, you get a different ending that I probably won't get to, just because every adventure is pretty long. Also, when it comes to voice acting, every character is fully voice acted, including the side characters. And most importantly, AM is voiced by the creator himself.
Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am.
That's the reason for his name, of course. Now, I know I said that I wasn't super privy to point-and-click adventure games, but I do know puzzle games, and I can tell you, in terms of puzzle games, this one is not very good. If I'm being honest, if you're looking for something that's I have no mouth but I must scream, you really should just read the book. The puzzles in this game are very esoteric, and there's a very highly likelihood that you're going to have to look up a guide or follow a Steam guide like I did so that I could finish basically any of the stories. So for all intents and purposes on this series, this game is slop. This is the end of the video. Subscribe!